Welcome back to AI Search, the podcast about AI and ML in every industry. So excited to have Igor here with us today to talk a little bit about marketing and AI and how that's all going for him. Hey Igor, how are you doing today?
Hi Tanya, thank you for having me.
Yes.
I'm very good, thanks, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, so you are the VP of Marketing at Farseer, and what is going on now with AI? There's been so much changes, and how are you able to implement that into your team?
So yeah, I'm leading the marketing team at Farseer. We are financial planning and analysis software for big enterprises. We had a lot of discussions, of course, that AI is a burning topic.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We had a lot of discussions on what to do, how to implement it, because we didn't want to just slap AI on as a feature on something, but we wanted to make something meaningful. So we're just in the process of launching our first, let's call him AI agent, that will actually help controllers, people in the finance, planning with their planning process, which should be quite amazing and maybe even changing for the whole industry.
Have you been able to do some beta testing with clients already, or is this kind of something a first wave for a lot of people?
So we have done some beta testing internally. There were some WhatsApp integrations, some stuff with some bots and similar. But we are looking forward to. I think that in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have first beta tester outside externally, and I'm really looking forward to it. To be honest, yeah. that first feedback, feedback. Internally you're always like, yeah, it's awesome, it works, and then the user comes, and even though you had like millions of interviews with them, and they start using it, and they're like, nah, this is not what we thought. And
exactly.
Back to the drawing board.
Well, I think also within a well-established company, it's a little bit different. It's like you're kind of going into the startup life, getting your first MVP out, and it's kind of exciting for, I would say, for marketing.
It always is. It always is, and every time, every time you're launching something new that's a bit bigger, that's not like some kind of regular feature update, it's a fun time for marketing, because now we're planning different campaigns around it, and that's why I went into product and product marketing and the whole SaaS space, because that part was very, very interesting. And now with the AI, when it's done right, it can be really, really, really fun. Yeah.
And how do you think with AI and SaaS, I think a lot of, everything is kind of becoming subscription models, and there's like software as a service is kind of just the way to go today. It's just happening. But how is this going with AI? Do you think that's going to change, or it's just going to get more embedded into like constantly, monthly payments, yearly subscriptions going in there?
Subscription definitely is a way to go. And we can see subscriptions now almost everywhere. If you want heated seats in your car, you need to pay subscriptions in some cars. And I think that is the way to go. But on the other hand, if we had this conversation a few years ago, when all of the LLMs and the entire AI, how we know it, started, everyone was a bit more careful. It's going to take time. I was the one who was like, we're going to see it. We'll see in a few years. Yeah. And then, it changes so rapidly. Yeah. I think it will become, an integral part of any SaaS. It should become an integral part of any SaaS. But what I think that now is happening, what I mentioned at the beginning, companies want to be fast, and they just slap OpenAI integration with their product and say, okay, we are now AI, we have AI. Which is a okay way to start, but it's not so revolutionary anymore. So I think that there's a chance that the market now, you're being kind of suspicious when you see we are AI driven, we are AI, everyone is AI first, everything.
I think it's going to pave a way for companies that kind of build ML models from scratch. And have their own software. It's going to definitely show.
Definitely, but there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise, and it's hard. Even if you have a really good product, even if you've done stuff yourself, it's really hard to get through that noise, because everyone now is, How
do you market that? How are you marketing, a non-ChatGPT wrapper product to get through the noise of the wrappers?
Sometimes it's hard, because I think that end users, regular end users, still don't know the difference, and that's okay. And just by saying we're not a ChatGPT wrapper means zero to them.
Yeah.
So we try to, how we are now establishing it, try to go more into, okay, let's really, and it's the basics really, it's nothing revolutionary, but let's really find out what pain points are we solving and how does this AI help. And then in the whole narrative, in the whole story, let's say, okay, it's our technology, or it's, this is why it's different, this is, because just saying we are not another, OpenAI ChatGPT wrapper means, I think it doesn't mean anything to the end user. Yeah, for the ones that are actually in it, but they don't see the noise, they don't hear the noise, they know what to get to. But the regular user, I think it makes it made zero difference for me 2 years ago. Now I can, I can see the difference now.
Yeah, someone who's in it all the time. Yeah, crazy.
Definitely.
Well, you've been on a big Euro trip, right? I love following Saastanak and the meetups that you've been doing around Europe. You guys have amazing tracksuits and everything. We're gonna have to post a picture in the corner. But tell me, how is Croatia shaping up to other EU countries? I know you kind of did this both Northern and Eastern Europe, and they have a lot of strong tech people as well.
Yes. So what we saw, how this all came to be. So I'm also, part-time working at Saastanak. I'm building the community with Leo. He's the founder, and the other colleagues, of course. And what we saw is like, okay, the first thing is there's not a lot of things happening when it comes to SaaS communities in this part of Europe. There are other events that you can fly to in Western Europe, in the US, in Northern Europe. There are stuff, but this part of Europe is like nothing's really happening. And there's a lot of emerging startups. There's a lot of scenes and a lot of communities there that there says really good products. And then we said, okay, we know we are having another conference. We had the first one last year. We know we're having another one. Let's make a tour. Let's go through European cities that have really strong communities, and let's talk to them. Let's see what's happening there. And it was a lot of fun. I actually went to, unfortunately, I could only go to 2 of the 4 cities. So I went to Budapest and Bratislava. And it was amazing to, talk to other people, to see, like, you kind of know that everyone has the same problems as you. You're kind of aware of it, but when you hear it, you're like, you really do have the same problems as we do. And then you talk to people and they're like, we don't have any communities here. We do meet, founders meet, operators meet occasionally, but there's nothing structural. There's nothing that's happening all the time. And we had a really good turnout for all of the events.
Nice. Yeah, I saw on the photos.
It shocked me, to be honest. You're always like cautious with this kind of stuff, but it was a lot of fun. And I think that we're doing a good thing with building a community like this, because no man is an island, as we know, and it shouldn't be. No company is an island, and we shouldn't look at each other as competition, especially when we are not even in the similar product. We can learn from each other. There's a lot of what we saw, and what I saw that they also have. They have very strong technical people. They have very strong engineers. The founders are very technically skilled, very strong engineers. But they're also lacking, a lot of go-to-market skills, because, we are kind of, I think that the whole region is kind of either shy or, you don't want to brag about your product. And
you have to be the best of the best before you even consider selling. It has to be perfect.
It has to be perfect. Don't do too much marketing.
Meanwhile, in America.
And it's completely different. They start marketing before they even have the product. Which... both of those approaches have their own
validity.
But let's come to a middle. We have an MVP. We can start marketing. Let's market it. Let's get first customers. Let's give the product for free at the beginning. Whatever, just to get that feedback. And it was a really really fun thing to talk to them. There was a lot of AI stories also. There was a lot of talks about what's going to happen. Are you also slapping just another feature on the whole thing? It was really fun to talk to other people about it besides Croatia, because Saastanak last year was already international. Yeah,
this was really impressive for me. For the first year conference, there were so many people, especially from the Balkan region, but also international.
Yeah, we had people from France. From the US. So we sold out. So 400 people, we sold out. We had to stop the ticket sales like 2 weeks before the event because we couldn't fit any more people inside.
Like as an attendee, I felt like, wow, wow, okay, for the first year, that the international community was really successful for a Zagreb base. And
yes.
of course, when you're on the sea and it's something, it's also like a tourist trip, but then you also do some business that kind of brings in more international people. But this was really impressive. For
yeah,
the first year.
we knew, okay, we want to do next year.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
the energy, the everything. Yeah, we wanted to do next year, but we need to make it bigger.
Yeah.
You know, we need to make it better. And the only way to go was to go to the coast.
Yeah.
Because you want to give something extra to the attendees also. But the venue where we're at now is amazing, and I think it's going to be beautiful. You know, you're on the beachfront. You can go and dive between the talks, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah.
But the whole scenery and everything should be amazing. We'll have more than 40 speakers, 50 speakers, and we try to get speakers that have something to say. We had really good feedback from the last year that we had really insightful topics, and we said, okay, we want to, beside the experience, we want to be a content conference, because there's, you know, more and more conferences, they get diluted with the content. The content becomes poorer. Not to throw shade at anyone, but you know.
Yeah, over the years, it's also difficult to maybe define, target people.
Definitely, but then we said, okay, let's find people that have something to say, regardless if they have speaking experience.
Yeah.
If you have something to say, stand up there, say something. You don't have to have a huge speaking experience. You don't have to be a huge speaker.
Yeah.
You just, you know, last year we had speakers that it was their first time on the stage. They were very afraid, but it was amazing.
Yeah, they built something.
Yes,
they can talk about it.
They talked about it, and I learned so much. I said that we are building a conference that we want to attend, and then we work on that conference and we don't attend it. And which is,
like,
you know,
damn.
I want us to get that big so I can, you know, organize the whole thing, and then at the day of the conference, I'm going to be an attendee. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Let the minions run the work.
But I don't think that any one of us could actually leave that. Because
I know, it's your little baby, you can't leave it alone.
Yeah, and the fun of the organizing and everything is, it is stressful. I mean, as every event is. But it's hugely fun. It's amazing. Just to meet all those people, you know, just to talk to people like Emilia from User Pilot is coming this year, you know. How would you have a chance to talk to her unless on some other conference if she's speaking, of course.
But as an organizer, even too, it's like a
Andrew from Paddle, you know, Matt. There's a lot of people that are really, you know, they've built stuff, they know stuff, and then as I'm curating the content and I'm speaking to each and every one of them, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna take you, you know, at least half an hour on the conference. I need to speak to you. I'm gonna take you and I need to speak to you. I need to pick your brain. I need to pick your brain. And which is amazing. We wanted to build, when we're talking to speakers, we said, okay, we need you to be there present, because we want you to mingle with people. We want you to give additional value to the people that are in the conference, you know, to ask you stuff, because I think that's the best part. That's the networking that we're talking about. Not the networking, yes, of course there's going to be parties, of course there's going to be fun stuff, but the networking where you talk to not only the presenters, the speakers, but to other colleagues that have done stuff, that's amazing. Yeah,
that's true. I know, I love that it's a content first conference, but you can't disregard the fact that I think Croatia can be one of the most beautiful, you know, conference destinations, especially on our coast. And I'm so excited to see a conference that you guys are building, because an IT conference on the sea. I think there was like a sailboat tour.
Yeah, there's a galley.
A founder boat tour.
It's a founder boat tour. There's a wine tasting in Vineyard. There's a lot of fun stuff.
In one of the most, like, Šibenik is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think that it's going to be really good this year, because let's hope the weather is on our side. It should be, but you know, having something on a venue matters. As much as we would like, you know, we didn't want to just slap another hotel.
For sure.
And, you know, close people inside a hotel and say, now you
venue
network.
Definitely matters, and I think the reason why that matters is people are able to kind of de-stress when they're, you know, on the sea, and they can let go into a conversation. So I feel like a lot of conferences I attended, and like nothing to hate on, but you know, we go to Germany, we go to Munich, like to the Push conference, like, you know, it's great, and I had a great time and great content, but at the same time, you know, rainy Munich, November, you know, okay, they organize parties so you can network and meet with people, and I think that's great, but there's something much different when you're on the sea, you're just having a glass of wine, cup of coffee with someone, relaxing, you're going to have a kind of a stronger bond, because you're going to share this exciting experience together.
Yeah, because, you know, you're kind of, let's face it, you're on the Mediterranean. The weather should be good. Let's hope, but it shouldn't be too warm, too cold. The perfect 25, and the whole thing should play into the whole conference and the whole experience, and people really wanting to mingle, to talk, to it should be really amazing. And of course, we're gonna have good parties. That's mandatory, I think, for any conference. That's what you remember the most at the end. Was the party at the end good or not? But definitely, that's only one of the things that we want to give to the attendees.
Sure.
And we just all the time we're talking to ourselves and between ourselves. Sorry, we want to build a conference we want to attend, and that's your whole, shtick the entire pitch, time. Would I want to go to this if we, and then if the answer is like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Because if we do not want to go there, probably other people won't. Someone probably will, but let's build something that's really fun, and then you have a lot of fun building it. So it should be amazing.
I'm really excited for that. Well, May, Šibenik, Saastanak Conference, definitely. If you haven't bought your ticket, I hope there's still tickets available.
There's still some tickets left. This time we introduced the VIP tickets actually.
Oh, cool.
I think they're almost sold out. So there's one or two left because we wanted to make the VIP tickets really VIP tickets, not to have like a lot of them.
Of course.
But there's still tickets left. There's the conference is from May 5th to May 7th. 3 amazing days in Šibenik. Sunny Šibenik, I hope.
It's beautiful.
I'm manifesting good weather. Yeah, I'm manifesting good weather so we can be outside as much as possible, and I hope to see as much people possible.
That's amazing. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about this organization. Do you guys use any AI tools to help you out, or no?
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I think that what I see with the regular GPTs, whichever the one they are. It can help you a lot if you train it, if you make your own. If you train it really good, it can really be helpful. It can be, I call it a junior. It can be your junior, but it will always stay a junior. It will never grow.
That's true. If you prompt your agents properly, I think you can definitely.
It can help you a lot, and a lot of stuff is with structuring the some topics. Then we had some conversations. I have conversations with speakers, and let's brainstorm, and then we get stuck. And I always tend to okay, we're stuck. We have these two things that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Give me another perspective. That's my favorite prompt. Give me another perspective. And sometimes it works. Yeah. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's like,
Keep brainstorming.
Yeah, I
agree with that. When you're stuck, I think also, sometimes for me also with design, I get a little stuck, and then, take a shower, go to sleep, come back in the morning, have some coffee, the next day. And I haven't been extremely satisfied with what is available for design, but sometimes even just seeing a third image can inspire a fourth image for me. And then somehow that kind of rolls
design
the ball.
needs some time. Yeah. It needs some time.
But still, I think when you see something super abstract, you're like, that could work. Get the ball rolling.
But then again, you go and you do something yourself based on that.
Yeah.
I think for the final product, it needs time. It still needs a little bit of time.
But a lot of text prompts, I think, are maybe definitely not for me copy paste. But at the same time, if you're stuck, it's a great way to get out of the pickle. Yeah,
I love it especially when you get stuck and help me organize this and how should I do this? Just to get another perspective when you don't have someone that you can bounce off ideas with. Yeah. Of course, we bounce off ideas from each other, but it's all remote work with Saastanak. We all have our day jobs, and sometimes you're sitting alone and doing stuff, and you're stuck, and it's 10 in the evening, and where do I go from here? And so we do try to do it in this way. I think that event industry still, I haven't found, maybe this is a founder's idea for someone, I haven't found a lot of AI stuff that can, help you with a lot of stuff. And I think that having something that would help you with mass communication with the speakers, that will help you, with vendors, with stuff like that would be amazing.
Or
that
even
would speed even things up.
Check-in tickets, and if somebody doesn't check in, send them a reminder.
You can do those flows, of course. You can do those flows, but there's integration. You need to, get the information, upload a table.
Exactly. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of flows that you can create with Zapier, for example. But at the same time, I think the event industry, however, each event is different. There's a lot of similarities. And there's a lot of kind of checkbox, like, yes, I have this at my event. No, I don't have this, that you can kind of pre-program.
Whoever does it is going to be a billionaire, definitely. But I think, I want to share in that company. But definitely, I think it still has a lot of way to go when it comes to the event industry. And mostly because event industry is one of the industries that is really heavily dependent on human touch still. We know what happened, during COVID. We know how many online events there was, and no one liked them. Whoever said they liked them lied. No one liked them. But it's very dependent on human touch. So I think it's going to be one of the last things that AI will touch per se for in a groundbreaking way, because it's very dependent on human. And I like that. I think, whenever you talk to people, because my master's one was in event management. And one of the main reasons why I went there was, the human touch. You're talking to many people, when you're building something, and then there's a hype, and then it ends, and then you're building the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So I understand that AI is still, and maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please tell me, and I want to use it and see if it works. But I think that the human touch is the reason it's still a bit...
That's why people love going to events. I think anything from conferences to festivals to concerts, everything.
But there's a lot of stuff that I hate doing that I would like to get automated. That part would be the amazing. I don't want AI to pick and to do sessions with speakers. That's what I like to do. To talk to them and to find, I'm missing this session. I think you're going to be good at it. Can you do it? But automating the whole ticket thing, everything, that would be amazing. Definitely. The schedule builder, it should be. We are using a tool this year. It's not an AI, but it helps us a lot. Last year we were spreadsheet dependent, and every time we needed to change the agenda on the web, I was like, no, please, no. You know what it means? It takes me 20 minutes.
Excel spreadsheet on the drive.
But now we're using Sessionize, and I think it's amazing because if someone wants to change their slot in the agenda, I just drag and drop, and I'm like, that's amazing.
I think in the next 5 years, I can kind of predict like a good event management software coming out, and I really hope that whoever's building that, I'm sure there's people building it today. I have to do some research on that, but I really hope that they are working with large conferences, large concerts, and stuff like that.
That would be amazing. I think that we in the event management space, we still need something groundbreaking. LLMs help a lot. They fasten up a lot of stuff. You can be quicker with stuff. But also what I see happening, when I see a title of a session, I know when it's GPT generated. I know it's always 2 parts of the topic. It's always,
not risky enough.
And use it as some kind of idea generator, but put your flair on it. So it definitely helps in that way, but we still need something groundbreaking when it comes to organization itself.
True. Well, maybe on your conference, maybe something will come out of that. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe I should patent something before it's out and then sell it as an idea.
Sell the idea, but I think there's going to be a great community there to discuss some topics.
But I think you're definitely right. Someone's already doing it. We just don't know about it.
We just have to find it.
I would be very surprised if no one was doing it. Very surprised.
Well, I'm really excited for May and for Šibenik, and I wish you guys all the best organizing this last, few weeks here that you have.
Finish line.
Last finish line, and that you can enjoy the sun and everything and relax.
Sun, sea, stars.
Take a few days off afterward and stay in Šibenik.
Definitely. 2 days afterwards, I'm non-existent.
Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast.
Thank you for having it. It was a lot of fun.
About AI, yes.
Thank you.
You can watch AI Search on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Let us know what you think in the comments.